some of these images have never been seen before. It's really about saving as many images as possible before they're all gone. I perceive all the images that I rescue as being historical. It doesn't matter if the role was shot in the 1990s. I see that as being a piece of history. This batch of film automatically has the weight of potentially having extreme historical value. Got roll 1, roll 6, this is roll 17, this is roll 23, and this one says Lucky Strike Beach, Boston Harbor. Start of train trip, roll of French funeral, 1947. This one was wrapped in some kind of a letter. I've always had a lonesome life, dreaming of success and love. I generally find, a roll here, a roll there. Someone finds a roll on a camera, and they sell it or they give it to me or they donate it. So to find a batch of film that's 31 rolls from the same source, the same photographer, that is 70, 80 years old is even more uncommon. All right, so now I have to load the film onto these plastic reels, and then I put them in this light-proof tank, and then I can take that back out into the kitchen and do the developing in straight daylight. And it goes around the reel like this. I've got to shut off the lights and just do this in complete darkness. So. There are a few rolls that have what appear to be water damage. There's some rust on some of the spools, which tells me that it's been exposed to moisture, which is really not good. I get the most nervous while developing the very first batch because that will be an indicator of the types of images I'm going to get. There is a large possibility that I might not recover a single image from any of these rolls of film. I pop the first one open and then I hold it up, and that's when I kind of take a breath of fresh air, and then I'm just amazed at what I see. What I'm noticing is that most of the images are wide landscape scene shots. The photographer seemed to be really interested in capturing moments that had kind of a large significance to multiple people. Groups of soldiers standing in harbors and waiting for trains and walking out of church. Most old film is not what the old-timers would call a printable negative. They're so degraded generally that it would be a waste of time to take that negative into a darkroom, put it in a larger, and try and print it on a piece of paper. What I love about the technology we have now is I can scan it. Even if I don't see everything that's on that negative, the scanner can then pick up detail and images that I never could see with the naked eye or even with an enlarger. When I tell people kind of what I do and how much time I spend and money I spend on it, they don't quite get it. But then they start looking at some of the images that I found, and they are instantly hooked as well. I'm the very first person who has ever seen that picture. They've never been enjoyed. They've never been remembered. It almost increases the weight of the importance of that photo because it has never had those moments before. And that's really the goal of the Rescued Film Project. We really look at every roll of film as if it's the photographer's mark in history, as them kind of saying, hey, I exist, and these moments in time were important to me. And even if the photographer's not around anymore to remember them, we want to reveal the images to the world because the moments in time that were captured on these forgotten rolls of film were important to someone at some point.